Hello and happy midweek greetings from Radically Rational and RadicallyRational.com. Okay, we'll do sports first because sometimes it just seems to go down easier that way. Okay, Celtics, you won a game. Now you can get your minds back on what really matters. Cancun. Okay, I don't think what happened yesterday is the end of NFL football as we know it, despite all the hand-wringing that's going on. Okay, there's this rule that's been in operation in college and high school football for a number of years now, and they're going to try it out at least for a year in the NFL. I'm talking about the fact that next season you'll be able to fair catch a kickoff outside the end zone, and wherever you are, the ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. The idea is to try to reduce the train wreck collisions that can lead to serious injuries. Now, frankly, I'm not sure they're going to be successful there because regardless of what's going on with the kick returner, there's some massive collisions going on upfield, and I don't know that that would necessarily impact that. On the other hand, is this really that big a deal? It doesn't say that you have to fair catch it. It says you can if you want to. The only thing I'd be concerned about here is unintended consequences, like what this might do to roster composition. Who has a job and who doesn't. But watch this, there are a lot of special teams coordinators that are going to get very creative, and I can't wait to see that. The Niners say they're increasingly optimistic that Brock Purdy will be good to go by week 1 as he recovers from that elbow surgery. So my question now is what happens with Trey Lance? Now here's a totally random observation. The best quarterback in the NFL at making pre-snap reads and knowing where he's going to go with the ball before it's even snapped, it is Joe Burrow. But the second best guy that I saw last year was then rookie and 7th round draft choice and Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Okay, think about all the pressure the Bills were under last year. You know, they had preseason Super Bowl fever, and then you had what went on with Damar Hamlin. We're so happy that worked out well, but the pressure was overwhelming, and it finally got to him in that embarrassing home playoff loss to the Bengals. Okay, this year, some of the heat's off. People are talking about the Jets instead, and they're talking about the Dolphins instead in the AFC East, and that could be a very good thing for the Buffalo Bills. Bears quarterback, this is important. You're going to think it isn't, but it's important. Bears quarterback Justin Fields says, quote, he could care less about whether he gets a contract extension. My only objection to that statement is grammatical. No. It's I couldn't care less. You're a quarterback, dude. I mean, come correct, please. That was a pretty impressive congratulatory text that PGA/pop culture sensation Michael Block received Tuesday, since it was from Michael Jordan. That doesn't suck. That was a rude stop to the Astros' 8-game winning streak Tuesday night in Milwaukee, 6-0. The good news is they only have to wait until noon today to try to get back on the horse. All right, that's pretty much it for the fun and games. It was exactly 1 year ago today that we failed 19 children and 2 adults and their families and their community and our state and our country. And 365 days later, it is obvious that we did not learn one thing. We have the ability to reduce these events, but we don't have the will. If you have the ability, you have the obligation. This is shameful. I have noticed one kind of encouraging judicial trend lately. Judges just aren't putting up with any of Trump's shit. None of it. It's like, sit down and STFU, son. You're an American citizen under the law. Nobody's above the law. All right, we're getting into full-blown political season. Now, here's what that means to me. Jack Smith is going to have to drop the hammer sooner than later because he can no longer wait. All right, a couple of events yesterday, momentous events, negative ones. I saw my first mosquito of the season yesterday. That wasn't good. That's bad enough. But I also encountered another unfortunate seasonal first. There was Yeehaw Bubba in his red cap driving his overcompensating pickup truck back and forth in a Torchy's Taco parking lot. And yes, he was flying a Texas Stadium-sized Trump flag. Hey, it's the United States. Okay, buddy. Okay. But also flying alongside that flag was the American flag. And my feeling about that is, no, son, you're going to have to make up your mind. One or the other, because the two are completely incompatible. Texas Attorney General Kenny Boy Paxton says that Speaker of the House Dade Phelan should resign. Something about Phelan allegedly being all liquored up while running, quote, legislative proceedings. Paxton's evidence? He says Phelan was slurring his words. You mean like you do every time you open your mouth? Mush mouth, Kenny Boy, is that what you mean? And you know, Kenny Boy, there are people, I know they're so negative, there are people who think maybe you should resign because of stuff like, multiple criminal indictments. There is nothing funnier than Republicide. Phelan and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick are trying to strangle each other, and I wish them both all kinds of luck. DeSantis is declaring tonight. I mean, who could you possibly get a better endorsement from than Elon Musk? And finally, are you seeing a pattern here with Republicans? Their way of dealing with problems is to deny that there is a problem. What COVID? What gun violence? What insurrection? And now they're doing the same thing with the debt ceiling. Did you see the spin? Now they're saying that Yellen is lying about the deadline, that there's no urgency here. And a couple of people said, well, what if we do default? What's the big deal? And you're a Republican and you're a conservative fiscally, and you don't understand what the big deal is, and there's a pattern here. It's never, ever a big deal because they're not big enough to deal with it. Enjoy your Wednesday. We are radically rational.